It's totally worth it. And a case study on that, one we bought in Houston for just under 5 million. Before we even closed, we had a aftermarket appraisal in hand. So based on, okay, after this is leased up as a multifamily building and you're done with your conversion, what's it worth? And our appraisal came back at 9 million. And that's what we're on track for based on the income that the property is generating.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Investor Fuel podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kessel, and today I'm joined by someone that I've been looking forward to chatting with, Mitchell Rice, who's been making serious moves running a real estate private equity company. So excited to have you here on the show today, Mitchell.
Thanks, Michelle, for having me. I'm glad we can make it happen.
Absolutely. I think our listeners are really going to take something away from how you're working on investing in multifamilies and converting hotels to multifamilies and all of the deals that you've been working on. So let's dive in. First off, for those not familiar with you and your world yet, can you give us a short version of what your main focus is?
Yeah, so just like you said, we're a private equity fund focused on buying great multifamily assets and converting extended stay hotels. So these are hotels that already have kitchenettes, and changing the use of those hotels to multifamily assets, which significantly increases the value. And then on the multifamily side, we've done both value add and core. So right now we're buying a property that was only built 4 years ago. So it's not even a value add, but we're buying it and assuming the 3.5% interest rate that's in place for 7 more years. So we've done about 5 deals and we're just looking to do more.
Amazing. What an exciting time for you guys. And what markets are you operating your business in?
We've bought in Tennessee. We're buying right now in Indiana. We bought in Texas. We've developed in Idaho. Our Utah is our backyard. That's where we're located. And we have not even done a deal in Utah. We were trying so hard. Utah is pretty expensive, and we probably underwrote 30 deals just in the last month. And even the best deals were kind of only shaking out to 14, 15% IRR. And that's if we can get the seller to agree to our terms. So it's a really competitive market here. This is where we definitely want our next acquisition to be. But ironically, we're located here and still don't own anything here.
Yeah, awesome. Sounds like you guys are hitting the nation, and I'm sure you guys will land on Utah soon.
Thank you.
Yes. So how did you get started with this business?
Yeah, I got started. My dad was an investor. He was after the great financial crisis, I watched him go pick up a couple of houses in Arizona, Phoenix, and Las Vegas, and did an Airbnb in Idaho. And I watched him become a LP, so a limited partner investor in some hospitality syndications, both in Idaho and Utah. And just seeing him do all these real estate transactions over the years got me excited. And so I studied entrepreneurial management in school, and I kind of knew I wanted to do real estate finance.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
So I taught myself how to financial model and underwrite just from getting models online and watching YouTube videos and building models from scratch. And I ended up working for the Mormon Church's for-profit real estate investment arm as their senior analyst. So I would underwrite all their grounded development projects, anything from warehouses to build-for-rent communities to mixed-use multifamily developments. And that was just amazing experience for me. My team, we did about $500 million over 2 years in transactions. And that kind of just gave me the confidence to start Elkstone Capital. And so that's what we did. And to date, we've raised about $20 million over the past 2 years. We're approaching 700 doors is where we should land by the end of this year. And yeah, we're just excited to continue the growth.
Amazing. That is exciting. What are some of those keys that have allowed your business to run smoothly over the years?
So anybody who's looking to get into multifamily, you have to know how to raise capital. And I didn't. When I started, and I recommend this to anybody starting out, go work with another GP first before you start. Typically you'll have to have some experience to bring to the table, whether it's underwriting or it's asset management or it's property management or it's construction management or something else. But go raise capital, go try to raise money for somebody else's deal and become a sponsor in their deal. And that's how I did it on my first one. And I remember those first few calls were brutal. Go for the people that you know and that aren't going to be too hard on you when you butcher your first pitch, because it'll be horrible. But you just got to start. So work through SOI, sphere of influence first, so friends and family, and eventually you'll just get really good at raising capital. But it doesn't matter how good you are at raising capital. You also have to have a great deal. So the deals speak for themselves.
Absolutely. So what are some of your maybe advice or tricks that you are doing now to raise capital now that you've gotten more experience under your belt?
So honestly, one of my biggest tricks is probably one that people don't really talk about, and it's to ask for referrals. It's, go add value to somebody. And once you've added value, a lot of times they'll ask you the question, what can I do for you? And sometimes we're too nice and we just say, oh, you're good. Don't worry about it. And that comes from our own pride. But if you add value to somebody, you have every right to ask them to add value back to you. So, whether you're in my business or something totally different, ask for referrals, assure that person that you did a good job for them and you'll take good care of their friends and family, and who can they introduce you to that you can help. So that's honestly one of my biggest tips, is working through my personal network of people I've already worked with.
Yeah, I think that is really smart advice to ask for what it is that you need. Definitely.
Yeah, and
So,
then you've
yeah.
gotta know how to present a deal. If you ever get in a room, I'm part of a investor group here in Utah. It's called Tribe Angels. So there's a couple hundred accredited investors. We meet on the last Thursday of every month, and typically they invite somebody to do an investment pitch. And every month it's different. Sometimes it's consumer products. One month it might be real estate. One month it might be crypto. This month it was something in the healthcare industry, and I being there at each of those meetings month after month, some of them are very straightforward and easy to understand. And when a operator can get up and in 10 minutes very clearly lay out a business plan and nobody's left confused, that just increases the probability of all of us wanting to invest, by so much. But if you can't effectively synthesize what your business plan is and do it in a way that's not confusing and investors have a clear roadmap of how they're getting their money back and how it's going to benefit them, I think that is also so important. You have to explain it simply.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah, definitely. That's some good advice for sure. What are some things that you're focusing on solving or scaling to right now in your business?
I mean, capital is always a hurdle, even though we've had success with it, and again, starting off in a time when capital markets have pretty much been frozen. Like most family offices aren't allocating at all right now. If they are, they're investing in just private credit deals, no private equity. Um, so we've even had good success, but capital is always a big hurdle, and if you can never have enough. If you have more capital, you can always go get more deals. Believe it or not, the deals have actually been our biggest hurdle this year. At the beginning of the call, I told you that it took us 5 months from January just to May to find and successfully locate the property that we're under contract for right now. So 5 months of working with brokers, underwriting, and then it took us from the end of May to July 27th to actually get it under PSA, to get it under contract. So it's just a tough market, finding great deals. I think that's actually more important than being able to raise the money, because if you have an amazing deal, the capital will find you. There's capital out there. So that's what we're trying to solve, is just how can we vet deals quicker? How can we underwrite faster? So at the beginning of the year, we were kind of still using our full-blown sophisticated underwriting model. It would take 1 to 2 hours just to underwrite one deal. And now we kind of swapped that for a very simple back of the napkin that takes 20 minutes. And that way we can underwrite 3 times as many deals in the same amount of time. And then, if it looks like the numbers are checking out, then we'll take it and plug it into our more sophisticated model. So I think that's one thing that everybody in real estate needs to learn, is right now it's not about how much time you can spend on a deal, it's how many deals you can see to find the right ones.
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, what are some of these hotel conversion processes look like for you?
Yeah. So step one is we got to go to the city and see if they will let us give us a change of use and change of zoning,
Mhm.
because hotels and apartment zoning are very different. And usually there's designated tracks in certain jurisdictions where they want the hotels and where they want the apartments. So 9 times out of 10 cities say no when we call them and say, hey, we're looking at this deal. Would you give us a change of use permit to change the use of this to multifamily? If they do say yes, then we still need to go to the seller and negotiate a very long due diligence period. Usually it's at least 4 months, because once we put under contract, the seller is going to write us a letter of authority saying we can go kind of negotiate on his behalf. He's still the owner. So he's giving us authority to go and change the use, but we've got to go to typically a pre-app meeting, and then a planning commission, and then a zoning commission, and then depending on what kind of jurisdiction it is, usually the final meeting is like a city council meeting. Assuming we get through all of those and they say yes, we get the rezone. Until all that is done, we do not close. So we try to eliminate all that entitlement risk, because if you buy one of these hotels thinking you're going to be able to convert it, but you don't have the entitlements and the city has not said yes, you're going to be stuck with a hotel. And a lot of the conversions we're looking at, they do not pencil as hotels. They only pencil as conversions. So that's step one. Step two is, do they already have kitchenettes? So are they ready for long-term leases? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Again, we like to target extended stay brands, so they already have the kitchenettes in them. So they have a sink, they have an oven, they have a microwave, and people can live out of them long term.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Another common thing we have to do is we have to submeter. A lot of these hotels are on a master meter, so sometimes the city requires us to submeter out the electric, so to install a separate meter for every unit so they can read their electrical bills. Another common thing is fire sprinklers. So a lot of these are older buildings and they do not have fire suppression systems in them. That wasn't a code requirement at the time. And for the city to give us the change of zoning, they're going to require us to install fire sprinklers in every unit. So that's another thing that we commonly have to do. And then again, every city is different. You know, they'll send people out to the property and sometimes there's random code items like, hey, these balcony railing spindles are spaced too far apart. Some kid could fall through that and fall off the balcony. Like you've got to close that somehow. We've had properties like that. And so it's always a curveball what the city's going to ask for. But the most important thing on conversions is just that you're constantly communicating and that you have a long due diligence period to vet everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. That's such a lengthy process, but of course it makes sense to go through that full conversion. I'm sure it's worthwhile once you get that end result of what you're looking for.
It's totally worth it. And a case study on that, one we bought in Houston for just under $5 million. Before we even closed, we had a aftermarket appraisal in hand. So based on, okay, after this is leased up as a multifamily building and you're done with your conversion, what's it worth? And our appraisal came back at $9 million. And that's what we're on track for based on the income that the property is generating. So we've already converted it. We're installing the fire sprinklers right now. We officially got the change of use. It's been about 12 months. And we've got 75 leases as of last week out of the 108. So we're really close to getting stabilized on it. And again, the total equity we had to raise on that one was about 3.2 million. So say we go to refinance in a couple months and we do hit that kind of 9 million target valuation, the difference between our purchase price being 4.75 and the new loan on a $9 million value is cash out proceeds. So we should be able to get back as much equity as we put in on that deal to return to our investors just from the refinance. And then we'll keep them in the deal and they get to keep reaping the benefits for the next 5 years.
Awesome. What an exciting opportunity. Yeah, how are you collaborating with investors? Are you working with them on these projects? What does that relationship look like?
Yeah, so our model is syndication right now. So we have a SPV, a single purpose vehicle for every opportunity that we're doing. And we bring in LPs, so limited partner investors. So they get to invest passively and they get to come along for the ride and we do all the work. And as a limited partner, that implies that they have limited personal liability. So if anything goes wrong at the property, like they can't be sued, the most that they could lose is their contribution. We're the ones that are signing on the loan and putting ourselves up to that liability, not them. So we work with dentists, doctors, lawyers. We just had a group come in who is in the auto dealership industry. Anybody who's run or sold out of a business, typically they like to diversify into real estate. And so anybody can invest with us, whether you're a family office or you're somebody in sales and you just want to stash away $100,000.
Yeah, amazing. Sounds like a great partnership opportunity for people.
Yeah, on our Indiana deal we're buying right now, we're giving our investors an 8% preferred return, which means before we as the operator take any of the profits, they have to make 8%. And then once they're hitting that, then we start to participate a little bit. It's a 20-80. So we make 20%. They make 80% of all the profits above and beyond an 8% preferred return, up to a 15% hurdle. And then if we crush it and we do better than 15%, any dollars above and beyond that 15%, now it's a 50-50 split. So that's what's called a real estate waterfall. It's usually there's a first hurdle being the preferred return, and then sometimes there's multiple hurdles after, and it outlines how those distributions change.
Awesome. Yeah. What a cool way to distribute things. So, when it comes to networking, growing that network, creating new relationships, building your business, what are some of those things that have made the biggest difference for you?
So in-person meetings are so important. You have to do them. But we've had investors who have invested in our deals and we've never even met in person. We live in a digital age. I will say what you and I are doing right now, Michelle, is much better than just a phone call where you can't see the
Right.
person. I'd say get on as many Zoom calls, as many video calls as you can. Um, I honestly almost feel like that's better, or it's at least trending to be better than in-person meetings, because it's just less pressure. If you're setting up lunch with somebody, sometimes it can take weeks to find the right time and place and actually make it happen. But these video calls are just so low pressure. Like somebody in Florida can hop on a call with me, in 2 hours that I just met. And that's the beautiful part of raising capital in the digital age. So I would say do as many video calls as you can. And, you can get video calls with new investors through creating lead magnets, and I'm not just talking like, don't just put stuff out in the ether to do it. Like you need to come up with an ebook that actually has diamonds of information in there that's going to move the needle in somebody's life and actually help them. Like you can't just be using AI to write this stuff. Like you've got to come up with things that people don't know. Whether that's an underwriting training that you've recorded or a financial model that you've built that you're giving out for free. So use lead magnets, post those to social media, make sure you have some type of way to capture the leads. Don't just give away that value for free, but if people want that, ask for an email, ask for a meeting, follow up with them, see if they got value out of it. And the more video calls you can do, the better opportunity you're going to have to do business with folks.
I love that. That lead magnet idea is so clever. I haven't heard people on the podcast share that yet. So I think that is some
Good.
really good advice for people.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, relationships are everything in this space. So the more that you can build them and connect, the further you will go. Awesome.
Say it again,
So,
Michelle.
oh yeah, I was just saying that relationships are everything in this space. So the more ways that we can
Mm-hmm.
come up with ways to connect and build them, the further we can go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
awesome. So before we wrap up here, if someone wants to reach out to you, connect, collaborate, where can people find you and connect with you?
Yeah, find me on LinkedIn. That's the best way, because then we can actually keep in touch over the years. Send me a message, say you listen to this, tell me what you liked, or if you didn't like me, you can tell me that too. Uh, and just LinkedIn's awesome because I'll send somebody a message, and then 3 years later, they'll come up, it'll come full circle and you'll have something to reference. So connect with me on LinkedIn and yeah, let's keep in touch. I would love to figure out how we can do deals together, or partner on something.
Perfect. Well, listen, I appreciate your time, your story, your perspective. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. And for those listeners tuning in, if you got value from this, make sure you've subscribed. We've got more conversations with operators just like Mitchell who are building real businesses. We'll see you on our next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.